Last week, we compared two of the top flagship phones of 2017 from two of the biggest companies, Apple and Google. Well, recently, Google released its first set of wireless headphones with the Pixel Buds. With Apple having its version in the AirPods, we decided to put these up against each other and compare both of these headphones. Hey everyone, Dan with Mac Rumors, and this is going to be our comparison of the Google Pixel Buds versus the Apple AirPods. So in this video, we're going to break our comparison down into four major categories. Those categories being design, comfortability, setup / the features that the headphones might offer, and of course, sound quality. Our first category is the design of each of these headphones. So let's start with the Google Pixel Buds. I'm definitely a fan of this gray-stitched felt-like material that's wrapped around the plastic case. There is a pretty good magnet that keeps the case closed, so you don't have to worry about this opening up in your bag or in your pocket. And the case is relatively small, but compared to the AirPods case, it's slightly bigger and it's a little more bulky in the pocket. The case is charged up via a USB-C cable, which is great because assuming that you're coupling this with a newer Android smartphone, you will most likely only need one cable to bring with you on a road trip for charging both your phone and the Pixel Buds. The inside of this case, of course, is where you'll find your Pixel Buds, a battery indicator light, and a Bluetooth pair button. There's also a little sticker that illustrates how to properly wrap and store your Pixel Buds inside the charging case. Once you do it once or twice, it's really easy and you don't need that sticker anymore. Now the case has a 620 mAh battery, and the buds themselves have a 120 mAh battery. Google claims that a full charge should roughly get you 5 hours of playback time. Now I've only had these headphones for a very short period of time, so it wouldn't be fair to comment on this, but I can say that this rough estimate seems like it would be pretty accurate. After a few hours of listening to music and occasionally using the Google Assistant to check notifications and sports scores, I still had a little over 50% battery left. If your case is fully charged, you should be able to then fully charge your Pixel Buds via the case a couple of times before the battery dies. The Pixel Buds' biggest difference compared to the AirPods is that they are not fully wireless, meaning that there is this cord that connects the two earpieces together. The cord is slightly adjustable to help fit around your neck and inside your ear, and each earbud is all black with the logo draped on the side. The AirPods do share some similarity in design. For starters, the AirPods are also in a plastic charging case with a magnetic lid, but that's pretty much where those similarities stop. To anyone who has a recent iPhone, you'll notice that the AirPods are essentially your included earpods, but with the wire cut out from the earbuds. Now some people have heavily criticized the design of the AirPods, and they do look a little ridiculous sticking out of your ear, kind of looking like Q-tips. The AirPods can also last up to about 5 hours of playback time, with the case being able to charge your AirPods from 0 to 100% a few times as well. Now our next category is comfortability, and you're gonna have to take this one purely on an opinion basis, because what might fit for me might not fit for you and vice versa. It seems as though lots of people do not like Apple's corded version, the EarPods, because they just don't stay in their ear and are easily susceptible to falling out when running or moving around. I have always found Apple's headphones to fit me better than most earbuds out there, and so I personally love the way the AirPods fit in my ear compared to the Pixel Buds. That doesn't mean the Pixel Buds are uncomfortable, but for me, they're really hard to get in on the first try, and it usually takes some twisting and turning in order for me to feel like they're in my ear and comfortable. This sort of applies to most earbuds that are designed like this. If you have a pair of Apple AirPods at home that are included in the box with your iPhone, I would try those on first. If they fit you, then you'll most likely have no problems with the AirPods. Now in terms of setup and standout features, which is our next category, both of these headphones have some pretty cool features that kind of separate themselves from other truly wireless or wireless headphones on the market. For the AirPods, it's clearly the W1 chip. This chip allows you to connect your AirPods with a simple open of the charging case near a compatible iOS device. Once you've done this, a notification will pop up saying that your AirPods have been found, and all you need to do is simply tap connect. That's it. Best part about this is if you're invested in the Apple ecosystem already, then your AirPods are automatically synced up to all of your other devices that are using iCloud. That's right, iPads, computers, Apple TVs, they are all synced up and ready to go. This is by far one of the main reasons why I love the AirPods so much. Setup for the Pixel Buds have actually been getting a lot of hate recently from what I've read, but I haven't had much of an issue past the initial setup process. Much like the AirPods, when you open up your Pixel Bud charging case with headphones inside, your Android device should get a notification saying that it found your Pixel Buds, and all you have to do is tap to connect. There is more of a setup process for the Pixel Buds, but that's only a few extra taps of setup. I have yet to have any issues switching between Android devices, but it's not clearly as simple as the AirPods. To connect to a different phone, you will need to place the Pixel Buds back into the case, long press the pair button until it starts flashing. You should then be able to go through the same setup process on your other phone. Both of these headphones are cross-platform, meaning you can pair the AirPods with Android devices and vice versa. The playback controls for each pair are a bit limited if you go cross-platform, but they still work. The Pixel Buds probably get the win in terms of more functionality with playback controls. The right earbud is where all of your controls live, and with certain taps and swipes, you can control certain aspects of your music, like swiping from volume up and down, double tap to pause a song, and a long press for Google Assistant. The AirPods are much harder to control, and you are only limited to 2 controls by a double tap to either AirPod. For example, the left can control Siri and the right can skip track, or you can customize it so that one can play pause and the other can go to a previous track. It just kind of depends on what you want. There is no volume control for the AirPods, which is a bummer unless you use Siri and ask her to turn it down, but you're pretty much stuck if you don't want to do that. One cool thing about the AirPods is the automatic in-out detection. Basically, when you take an AirPod out when listening to music, the song will automatically pause, and once you decide to put it back in, the music will resume on its own. The same goes for videos as well. It's kind of an awesome feature, but if you don't like it, you can also turn it off. Now, there is one other feature that Google and the Pixel Buds absolutely get brownie points for, and even though I couldn't really test this out in the real world situation, I was able to use this real-time translation feature, and it's really cool. How it works is pretty simple, but it's a bit limited to certain devices at the moment, and you need to have Google Translate app already installed. From here, you'll simply hold down the right earbud and say translate. The app will open on your phone, and you can adjust the language in which you are speaking and the language of the person you are speaking to. So for this example, I kept it a bit simple and went with English to Spanish. Then I simply held down the right earbud and began to speak. My phone will then translate my English to Spanish and repeat it back to the other person. In order for the other person to respond, they need to simply hold down the Spanish icon and begin speaking in Spanish. And then this will do the same thing but translate the Spanish back to English through my Pixel Buds. It's pretty cool, and although it might not be a heavily used feature for me, I can see it being useful for those who travel abroad a lot. Finally, our last category is sound quality, and although for you it might be the deciding factor on which one to purchase, to me it really wasn't. The Pixel Buds and AirPods were never really, in my opinion, designed to be high-fidelity audiophile targeted headphones, and none of these companies have stated that they are. To me, these headphones are all about portability and convenience. They both do them quite well. I also think that they both sound pretty good, and I do believe the AirPods sound better than the Pixel Buds, but that's just my opinion. They are far more balanced in sound, with crisp highs and enough bass to perfectly round out any song. The Pixel Buds sounded a bit muddled, and there isn't a ton of bass, but the mids seem super low to me, giving me that feeling that there might be more bass to these headphones, when in reality that's just not the case. I do want to point out that using the Pixel Buds with Spotify brought this sound profile out a lot more, and they just didn't sound good. But when I switched to Google Play Music, it was much better. Far more treble to help round out that low end, and it's really weird that switching between those apps made it sound drastically different. So this will lead us to the age-old question, I want to purchase one of these, which one should I buy? Well, the good news is price is not a factor in this, because they're both overpriced, in my opinion, at roughly $150 to $160. For me, the AirPods is what checks all of the boxes. Most important thing is they fit perfectly, and I can listen for long periods of time before fatigue sets in, and that just isn't the case for me with other headphones. The W1 chip is also what makes this a no-brainer for me. I hop from my iPhone to my MacBook all of the time, all day, and it's just so convenient to not have to repair anything ever. Now, if you have all Android devices, tablet, then it might just make sense to go with the Pixel Buds. Although for a little extra money, you can probably get something that sounds way better. If you own a MacBook, iPad, and a Pixel 2 XL for some reason, and you're on the fence, I would go with AirPods for the W1 chip compatibility with your other 2 devices. I would, however, not recommend buying the AirPods if you don't own any other Apple products. Again, you can probably get something much better at around the $200 mark, and none of the features that I mentioned before will even apply to you anyways, so you might as well get the better sound quality out of your purchase. Again, all of these thoughts and opinions are just that. They're my thoughts and my opinions on what worked out for me, and some of you guys might be in a similar situation, so I'm hoping that this video would help you out on which one to purchase. If you've already purchased one of these, let me know in the comment section down below which one you might like or might not like. And if you guys are looking to pick one up, let me know which one you guys are kind of leaning towards. This has been Dan with Mac Rumors. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.